Goodwill brought by partners in cash or in kind and withdrawn by partners where it is brought in cash. What can happen is that a new partner may bring in some amount of goodwill which may be withdrawn by the partners. So how do you pass on the journal entries for that is what we are going to see in this video. Second could be that instead of bringing it in cash, he may bring it in kind. And then what is the entry which you pass is what we are going to look at as a part of this. Sam and Jam are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio of 3:2, or in other words, 3/5, 2/5. They admit Cram into partnership for 1/5 share, who pays 40,000 in cash for goodwill. If he's paid 40,000 in cash for goodwill for 1/5 share, right, which means the 1/5 of goodwill is 40,000, that would mean that the value of goodwill is how much? It is 40,000 divided by 1 by 5, or 40,000 times 5 by 1, which is 2 lakh. So the value of goodwill is 2 lakh. Sam and Jam decide to share future profits equally between themselves and withdraw the premium from goodwill from business. Now, this is the catch of this entire question, right? Let me use a highlighter to highlight this. Sam and Jam decide to share future profits equally between themselves. What does this mean? Does this mean that their share is going to be 1/2 and 1/2, right? Or does this mean that their share between themselves is going to be equal? It's the second one. What that means is now 1/5 is gone to Cram. How much is left? If out of the complete share, 1/5 is gone, what is left is 4/5 share, right? This is the share that they decided to share amongst them equally. I'm going to do this in detail and withdraw the premium for goodwill from business. No goodwill account appear in the books past the necessary journal entries. This is part A of the question. We are going to come to part B a little later, but let's first solve this. So the share between Sam and Jam is equal between themselves. Out of the total share of 1, what has been given to Cram is 1/5, right? So what is left for Sam plus Jam is 1 minus 1/5, or 4/5. They decided to share this equally amongst themselves, which means that Sam will get 1/2 of 4/5 and Jam will get another half of 4/5. Or in other words, they get 4 by 10 and 4 by 10 share. Cram in any case has 1 by 5 or 2 by 10 if you just multiply the numerator and denominator by 2. In other words, the ratio between S, J and C is going to be 4:4:2. We need to find out how much has these two people sacrificed, right? So the sacrifice, why is it relevant? Because this new gentleman has brought some money in cash for goodwill, 40,000. This has to be distributed in the sacrifice ratio. So we need to find out how much is the sacrifice which Sam did, how much did Jam did. So the ratio that they have is 3/5 and 2/5, right? That's the old ratio. The new ratio is 4 by 10, 4 by 10. Take the LCM, 10 divided by 2, 5 times 2, 2 times 3 gives you 6, minus 4, 2 by 10. Jam, how much did he lose? 10 divided by 5, 2 times 2 gives you 4, minus 4, 0 by 10, or 0. Which means that the only person who sacrificed is Sam. He's given 2/10 of his share, and incidentally, if you see, that's the same share which Cram also got. So the entire money which is bought for goodwill has to go to Sam. So if you have to pass the journal entries, the first one will be bank account debit for the receipt of the premium for goodwill to goodwill premium account 40,000, and then this Goodwill premium account will be debited by this 40,000 and Sam will be credited by 40,000 for this amount. Right? Now you are asked, let's go to the second part. What will be the entry if Cram would have brought a building worth rupees 40,000 into business in lieu of Goodwill amount? Right? But before I do this, there's one part which I actually just missed out, which is that and withdraw the premium for Goodwill from business. Now, since this premium from Goodwill from business belongs to Sam, he decided to withdraw it. So we are going to debit Sam's capital account, debit to bank. The money that came in for premium is paid over to Sam. He decided to withdraw that money. Right? What would be the entry if Cram would have brought a building worth rupees 40,000 into business in lieu of the Goodwill amount? Now, in such a case, I'm choosing a different color. Instead of bank, a new asset would have come into business, which is building account debited to Goodwill premium. Right? The second entry would have remained the same, which is that the Goodwill premium would have been debited and Sam's capital account would have been credited. Since there is no money which has come in, the question of withdrawal does not arise unless and until you were specifically told that the company would have used the existing cash to pay off the partner. But we don't have an indication as to whether he had the cash or not, in which case we are not going to pass this entry. But if the company would have said that the cash position before this thing came in was enough to meet this 40,000 and that money was utilized to pay off Sam, we could have done that.